Hello, everybody, and welcome to Penguins to Go, your daily dose of Pittsburgh Penguins news and analysis. You can find us on YouTube at Inside the Penguins or anywhere you get your podcasts from. Today, I'm going to start a series of 5 episodes that I'm going to try to do every single Wednesday for the next month or so, and that is a ranking of the 8 teams in the Metropolitan Division based on certain positions. And what better place to start with this than the center ice position? It's the position that the Pittsburgh Penguins have prided themselves on since Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin entered the league. We shall see where I believe, personally, they rank when it comes to first-line center through fourth-line center, depth down the middle. Let me know in the comments how you rank the 8 teams in the Metro based on their center depth. I'm going to start with number 8 and number 7. The Philadelphia Flyers at number 8, the Columbus Blue Jackets at number 7. These 2 teams are going to obviously find themselves at the bottom of most of these rankings simply because they're rebuilding teams, right? That's where they're at with their roster strength, especially considering this is going into a season where both of these teams have a lot of young players at the center ice position and just in general around their roster. The Philadelphia Flyers, as of right now, according to Daily Faceoff, have Morgan Frost as their first-line center, a returning Sean Couturier as their second-line center, a young Noah Cates as their third, and familiar face Ryan Poehling as their fourth-line center. It's a little mix of youth with promise, new face, new place in Ryan Poehling, and the return of Sean Couturier. An interesting depth at center, to say the least, but one that I don't think compares to a lot of other teams in this division who have really good center play. The Columbus Blue Jackets I put just a touch higher. Boone Jenner, at this moment in time, I would give more of an opportunity to have a better season than Sean Couturier. That's the veteran for the Columbus Blue Jackets. That's why they go higher. Adam Fantilli, something tells me this kid is just going to be phenomenal from the jump. So he is right now considered their second-line center. Cole Sillinger, really good young player. And then Sean Corrali, I would give him the edge over Ryan Poehling of the Philadelphia Flyers. Hence the reason the Blue Jackets rank in 7th instead of 8th. Let's jump to the next little tier that I have here, which is the Washington Capitals at number 6 and the New York Islanders at number 5. The Capitals with 2 aging veterans in Evgeny Kuznetsov and Nick Backstrom at the top, both of which, at least Nick Backstrom missed a lot of last season due to injury. Kuznetsov's in a weird area where you don't think that he should be falling off at this point, but he really has just kind of fallen out of the limelight, at least in my eyes personally. Then they have Dylan Strome, I think one of the better third-line centers in the Metropolitan Division, and Nick Down as a fourth-line center. It just screams what the rest of this Capitals roster screams to me, and that is, this is going to come off harsh, but kind of mediocre, right? There is top-end talent in Nick Backstrom. He's potentially a future Hockey Hall of Famer, but he's at the end of his career. He's faced multiple injuries, and it doesn't seem like he's, been 100% healthy for what has been, 2-3 seasons now? I don't keep too much of an attention on the Capitals, but it seems as if, the potency of Kuznetsov and Backstrom is just not what it used to be, so I have them at number 6. The New York Islanders at number 5, probably the most steady center depth from first line to fourth line. They have Bo Horvat, of course, they acquired last season, Brock Nelson, J.G. Pajot, and Casey Cizikas. All good in their roles. None of them kind of break the mold and just kind of take over in a sense like some of the teams in the top 4 do. I don't hate the center depth for the New York Islanders, but it's the same thing I feel like with the rest of the Islanders depth chart. It's good. It's not bad, but it's missing great. So that's how I feel on the Islanders. Let's get to the top 4 because this is where the majority of the discussion is going to be had. I have the Carolina Hurricanes at number 4. I had initially had them a little bit higher, but I just have no idea what to expect from Jack Drury at fourth line center. They have Sebastian Aho, who I think is still one of the most criminally underrated centers in the National Hockey League. Jesperi Kotkaniemi at the second line center. I'm not sure what to think about that. Obviously, very high draft pick, carries that clout with him, had a good playoffs last year, but I'm not entirely sure how much I like him if I'm just squaring away as it's Kotkaniemi versus Vincent Trocheck, who we'll get to, Evgeny Malkin, Jack Hughes. He's probably fourth on that list heading into next season. Jordan Staal at third line center. Honestly, there's a reason the Carolina Hurricanes brought him back. He brings experience, a veteran presence. He's a great two-way forward. He's great at faceoffs. He's a physical guy. He's good in front of the net. He can still score goals. A really solid third-line center is Jordan Staal still. But I have them at number 4. Number 3, this is where the New York Rangers come in. I had initially placed them at number 1, but Nick Bonino at fourth-line center, probably a little underneath what the top 2 teams have. Philip Hedl at third-line center, that is where I think I give the Rangers the biggest advantage. I would say Philip Hedl, when he's playing and performing well, is probably the best third-line center in the Metropolitan Division. Probably better than J.G. Pageau, probably better than Jordan Staal, probably better than Eric Haula, who we'll talk about. I do really like Philip Hedl. Younger talent, still has room to grow. I think that he's able to get good matchups because of where he plays in the lineup for the New York Rangers, so I really like that for them. Vincent Trocheck, again, same thing as Jesperi Kotkaniemi. Talented player, solid goal scorer, but does he have the star talent? Does he have that ability to just break out in a game? I don't see it, whereas with the other 2 teams that I haven't mentioned, you know which ones they are at this point, those second-line centers have star and game-breaking ability where I just don't see it with Vinny Trocheck. Mika Zibanejad, similar to Sebastian Aho, I think gets overlooked a lot. Last year, he had a down season comparatively to the year prior, but he still was very, very good last season. So I like the New York Rangers center depth. I do think that if you would have asked me this question heading into last season, I probably would have put them up a little bit higher, especially because I don't remember who their fourth-line center was. Was it Tyler Mott heading into last season? I can't remember. It wasn't Nick Bonino, I can tell you that much. But heading into this season was Zibanejad, Trocheck, Hedl, and Bonino. I have them at number 3. Number 2 is where I put the Pittsburgh Penguins. You know, for a long time, it was probably an easy answer to say, okay, Pittsburgh Penguins number 1, no matter who was their third-line center. I mean, when it was Jordan Staal, it was unfair. When it was Brandon Sutter, it was more fair. More fair. When it was Nick Bonino in 2016 and 17, probably still because Crosby and Malkin were just that good, right? And they still, it is a top-heavy forward core. It's a top-heavy center position, but they still get it done, in my eyes. I mean, Sidney Crosby, for the longest time, was on pace for over 100 points once again last season. He finished with 93, and mainly because he wasn't getting any help. Evgeny Malkin was helping him, though. I mean, Evgeny Malkin still showed game-breaking ability last season, played a full 82 games for the first time in Lord knows how long. I thought he was extremely impressive last season. Lars Eller, to me, is an improvement on what they had at third-line center. Whether it was Poehling last season, whether it was Jeff Carter, Mikael Granlund, Lars Eller is an improvement. I'm not sure how much more goal scoring he's going to provide, but at the very least, he is better defensively, and the same goes for Noel Acciari. They had Ryan Poehling, Teddy Bluger. Noel Acciari, I think, brings a little bit more of a scoring punch at the fourth-line center position while not forfeiting much when it comes to the defensive side of the ice for a fourth-line center. So it's really Crosby and Malkin's show, though. It really is. Like, the reason the Pittsburgh Penguins are ranked this highly is because Crosby and Malkin are that big of difference makers over Sebastian Aho, Jesperi Kotkaniemi as a duo, over Mika Zibanejad, Vinny Trocheck as a duo, over Bo Horvat and Brock Nelson, over Jenner and Fantilli, over Kuznetsov and Backstrom. Crosby and Malkin still do the legwork for the center core. Now, the rest of these positions, when I go through them, the Penguins don't have that type of player. I mean, Jake Gensel maybe, but there's a lot of good left wings in the Metropolitan Division. So the Pittsburgh Penguins, this might be the highest they rank in these division or position by position rankings for the Metropolitan Division. But it's simply because even at 36 is what Sidney Crosby will be heading into the season, and 37 is what Evgeny Malkin will be heading into the season, I still have them because of the way that they're able to control a game and control the outcome of a game and just will their team to victory on any given night. I have the Pittsburgh Penguins at number 2 in the Metropolitan Division when it comes to center depth. And that leaves at number 1 the New Jersey Devils. Nico Hischier is now a multi-time, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember it. Defensive Forward Award. Sean Couturier was always in that. Patrice Bergeron, Selke, Frank J. Selke Award. I don't know why I was thinking about something else, but Nico Hischier is a multi-time now Selke Award finalist. He's a great defensive forward. He's also a great offensive forward. People don't give him enough credit for that, but mainly because where the offense comes from is Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes at second-line center, undoubtedly the best second-line center in the Metropolitan Division. Probably would be considered one of the top 3 first-line centers in the Metropolitan Division. But where they have him slotted there at second-line center, he's undoubtedly number 1. Eric Haula, right up there with Hedl, Stahl, and Pajot as the best third-line centers. And Michael McLeod, okay. I mean, okay. This similar to Nick Bonino, Jack Drury, Noel Acciari. The best fourth-line center in the Metro is probably still Casey Cizikas. Probably, right? So you could really kind of just lop that off at the end because that doesn't carry a lot of weight in these rankings, but the 1-2 of Nico Hischier, Jack Hughes goes head-to-head with Crosby, Malkin, and then just I do believe Haula has more than Lars Eller at this point in time, and the fourth-line centers cancel out, and McLeod and Acciari. So I would give it to Hughes and Hischier. I think if you're looking for point production, those two are probably going to have more points simply because, one, Jack Hughes is probably going to get over 100 points for the first time in his career this season. And two, Nico Hischier not only can produce points, but he, similar to Sidney Crosby, is good on both ends of the ice. So while, yes, the Penguins as a whole are not a team that I would say are guaranteed to make the playoffs. They're probably not close to being guaranteed to make the playoffs. Their center depth still holds strong, and that is simply because, in my eyes, it's simply because Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin continue to be the absolute beasts that they have been for their entire career. Is it look a little different now? Yes, but I still have them at number 2. So a quick rundown here before we head out for today. Philadelphia at number 8, Columbus at number 7 with a lot of young talent going on in that Columbus Blue Jackets roster. The Capitals at number 6, the Islanders at number 5, Hurricanes at 4, Rangers at 3, Pittsburgh Penguins at number 2, and the New Jersey Devils with the best center core in the Metropolitan Division. I almost said National Hockey League. That'd be interesting. I'd have to look around, but definitely, in my eyes, the best in the Metropolitan Division. That's going to do it for this episode of Penguins to Go. I hope you enjoyed this little quick ranking system. We're going to do one of these every Wednesday for the next couple of weeks, but that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much. Remember, you can find us on YouTube at Inside the Penguins or anywhere you get your podcast from. We'll be back next time.